Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Fun Stuff Friday and I am going to be turning on a light here because this is not lit up very well. It's very warm in my house, so I've got the fan going, so I can't turn on the overhead light, otherwise all you're going to see is the chopping of the fan, and yeah, that's never fun. So I'm just going to turn the light on the camera so that you can see what I'm doing. So today we're going to take a look at Bright Ideas, the colored pencils, as well as the skin tones from the Ender Creative. We will swatch these on camera. I've already swatched these, and then we will do the flip through of the Josh Lee books that I got for my birthday. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So the first thing, let's move the Josh Lee books. So the first thing is the Bright Ideas colored pencils. And yeah, move the camera here just a little bit. I do apologize. It's a bad tummy day, so I'm breathing a little bit harder than I should be because I've got a little bit of pressure. So just bear with me. All right, so these pencils are really pretty. And it's a good thing they're pretty because I personally don't think I would color with them. I find that they are very hard. So even though I really enjoy a good hard pencil, and it just may be the paper, it may not be made good for this kind of paper. Let's color one of these little mermaids down here, and we'll see how it does. Now, when I'm doing the swatch, it's kind of different than when I color, so that may have just been the swatch I didn't like, because the top part was fine. It was having to do the heavy-handed part. I found that it didn't like it. So I think, nope, there it is again. They do have a little bit of a scratchiness to them. I'm going to sharpen this and see if that might be a way to get rid of it. But they do have, and it's not a dry scratch, it goes smoothly and then suddenly there's something in the core. So let's sharpen that up and see if we can sharpen it out. That's better. I thought maybe it was something on the paper the first time it happened, but I'm going to turn down that music just a touch. Don't know why that song's always so loud. There we go, that's better. So after sharpening it, I'm getting a much smoother laydown than I did before sharpening it. Now, of course, you're supposed to sharpen your pencils before you color with them. I know this. However, I do find that I prefer not to, just so I can see how well they're going to work right out of the box. And, that's my own personal perk, but, And I am finding that they are laying down better. Let's do this. So you can actually see what I'm doing. They do lay down better out of the box or after you sharpen them. So let's grab another color here. There's not really enough colors to do all of the shadowing and that sort of thing. Let's use this one. So I'm going to be mixing in some metallics and that sort of thing for the shadowing of her skin. So we've got a gray purple here, the prismatic purple, and the dark shadows. And I think this one is the prismatic purple. No, it's dark shadows. So this color here is a little dark for what I want to do. So we're going to grab the prismatic purple. And these are not extremely metallic, so even though they have a little bit of that silver undertone, and I'm going to see if I can blend that in. With the other pencil. But these pencils have some really cute names. So it's not a pencil that I'm going to use all the time. See, after sharpening it, it's laying down a lot nicer. Well, that's a relief because I thought they were going to have to go on the shelf and stay there just to be pretty. Because they are pretty. I just love the names on them. The names just cheer me right up. Alright. So, you guys can't see that. Let's move you over. Oh, shoot. Sorry. The lid of the pencils decided that it was going to play a tune for you. I'm going to switch you over to the close-up camera here. And we'll turn on the light. Oh, not that much. Maybe we won't turn on the light. But we will tip you up that way. So, as you can see, you can tell that I've put the shadow in there. Turn off that light, and then turn on this light. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, that's better. And we'll turn that music down on this camera too. So as you can see, I've got that shadow in there now. So we're going to go back in with our peachy color here. And we're going to see if that'll blend in. Yeah, it's not blending together all that great. It's just kind of making a mess. Okay, let's try something else because this is not blending together nicely. So the metallics and the regular pencils don't blend together very nicely at all. It's actually making kind of a murky little mess there. And this is why I put these little pictures on here so you can get to know your pencils a little better. Because sometimes just swatching them doesn't tell you all of the information. Sometimes just coloring one of these little pictures down here gives you a lot more information. The testing on the back that I do also gives some information, but I'm not going to do the testing on these pencils or the other ones because the other ones I've already reviewed several sets from that company, and they're just going to go into those sets. Alright, so there's that. Let's do her tail. Let's see if we can blend a couple of different colors for her tail. So we're going to use Greener Pastures and Perfect Patina. Love those. Love the names. I'm going to sharpen them because obviously they work better if they're sharp. And we're going to start with that one. And we're going to use this one. Alright. So we're going to start with this one in this shadow area here. This shadow area down here. Put a little bit there to show that it's rounded. Yeah, they're working much better since I sharpened them. Okay, so it's definitely a sharpen out of the box type thing. Okay. Good to know, good to know. Alright. So we've got our green down. Now we're going to come through. We're going to try to blend into it. See how well that blends. Put a little bit on the scales here as well. So it doesn't blend perfectly, but it does blend a lot better into regular colors into each other than the metallics into regular colors. This set comes with 12 metallics. I think, no, 10 metallics, 10 neons, and 16 regular colors. And as you can see, you know, the first layer goes down, and then you've got to put that second layer on to fill in that white spot if you want to. And they are blending okay. They're not making a muddy mess like the other ones did, which is good. Like I said, this isn't a set that I'm going to use often because it is a set that I just really like the names on them. All right. So we've used the regular colors on her blouse and tail mixed together. I'm going to take this one here, which is a metallic. And I'm going to fill in that area. Now let's see what the fluorescents do. So we're going to take this one and this one. We're going to take Flaming Fuchsia and Peachy Keen, and we'll do her hair. I'm going to sharpen it up. I know these colors are going to clash so badly with their skin tone and everything else, but I want to see how well the fluorescents work together as well. And then we'll move on to the other set. Alright, so we've got Peachy Keen. Yeah, let's do the dark first. So there's a ribbon there, so we're gonna... And the weird thing about these pencils is you can't really tell by the lead how dark they're going to be. Because I was expecting this to be a little bit darker, and of course I could have just looked up at the chart to see, but I didn't. And I colored an area that's not hair. Like so. And then we're going to come through with this other color, which is Peachy Keen. And we're just going to go right over top. See if we can blend them. Doing hair on small things is not something that I find fun to do, I must say. Well, it's not really blending together, but it's not turning into mud either, so. It's definitely going over top of it a little bit, but I can't drag it, so. Okay. Almost done. Just getting a feel. So these ones here are also not as scratchy as they were when I put them down on this swatch. So I would say that is definitely a sharpening issue. Oh, let's just throw that anywhere. And then we're going to grab the purple out of the regular set here. So this is Royal Reflections. And we're going to do her hairband here. Now we're going to try to do a deep area and then a light area, which does work really nice. So with having a small amount of pencils, one of the ways that you can do your shadows and that sort of thing, of course, is with pressure. And I think after sharpening these, they work a lot better than they were working when I did the swatch. So like I said, definitely something you need to sharpen. I don't find that there's enough colors to do skin, so unfortunately the skin did not turn out the way I wanted. But there is a gray, so you can use gray for the shadow instead of a light color in the peaches. The colors that are in this set, they're really actually very pretty. We have Carte Blanche, which is our white. It's very translucent. We have Sunny Side Up, Golden Opportunities, Tantastic, Fresh Squeezed Scribbles, Painting the Town Red, Blue Hues, Indigo Inklings, Perfect Patina, Sublime Lime Time, greener pastures, royal reflections, as well as chocolate fondoodles, espresso yourself, gray areas, and black magic. Those are all our regular colors. And then we get into our fluorescence, which is firefly, solar flare, atomic orange, radical red, peachy keen, fuchsia, flamingo fuchsia, hot pink, electric blue, and then day glow green. And then we get into our metallics, which is dragonfly, solid gold, sugar plum fairy, prismatic purple, dark shadows, ultraviolet visions, sparkling sea, aquamarine dream, emerald city, brilliant bronze, and sterling silver. So it does have a good amount of both or all three types of pencils that are in the case. I don't know if you can see it, but the metallics do have a little bit of a metallic shine, and the fluorescents are definitely fluorescent. I'm going to turn off the light here so you can actually see them. So they even fluoresce. Isn't that cool? So the fluorescents are definitely fluorescents. All right, so that is the Bright Ideas colored pencil set. And we did color down here on this little mermaid with a blend of metallic and regular, and they don't blend together well. A blend of regular with regular, and they blended together a lot better, as well as the neons together. And they do cover each other and fill in the gaps, but I'm not seeing any movement between the two colors to blend them together. Might have to do a couple experiments on that one. All right, so now we have the Indra skin tones. This is the Lapis de Madura. I'm assuming they're skin tones. Since I can't read the language that's on here, beyond the fact that it's an Indra Creative professional color set. So they are quite a nice set of pencils. I have gone through and rearranged them to put them in somewhat of a color order. Of course, this is not going to be like white to whatever. It's going to be in a basic light to dark color order. Now if I can get the pencil out of the box, that would be good. Now with the Indra Creative, they have been adding the color number, like this one here is IS11. And the reason why you have to keep the IS on there is because, and I noticed it after, there's also IM and IV. So I did go through and I just put the number, and then I went, okay, well, that's not going to work because there's like 3 11s in here. So this one here is IS11. Now, with it being a smaller swatch chart, the swatch squares are much bigger. So you may find that it's taking a little bit more blending or layering, as well as squishing, because these do have a little bit of squishability. They are a fairly soft pencil, so you can fill in that hard coated area quite quickly, like so. And then we have this one here, which is IM number 1. And they're definitely colors to do a good skin tone with. And they've included all the colors that you would need for most skin tones, whether it be dark colored, um, medium, anything in that light to dark range, as well as some colors in there to, do some alien skin tones too. This one here is IS10. And these will go in with my other Indras. I got a set of Indras for Christmas as well that has 72 in the pastel tones, which do also have the numbers on them. And I think adding these to that would make a really nice set. A lot of peach tones and browns and some reds and blues. And yeah. This one here is IS3. So we've got our yellow tones here, our tan colors with the yellow undertone. I got something on my swatch chart. Figures. I hope everybody has had a wonderful week. For all of you that have a long weekend, I hope you enjoy it. It is Memorial Day here in the United States. So anybody that's going to be having a long weekend, I hope you enjoy it. This one is IS8. All right, and then this one here is IS2. I will be streaming tomorrow on Saturday at my usual time of 10 a.m. I will not be doing an extra stream on Sunday. I will be taking off my Sunday. And I think depending upon how far we get, I might not put out my video on Monday and do a stream on Monday because Bob has Monday off. So we will see what he has planned. If he has plans for Monday, then I won't be streaming, and I'll put some information on the community tab if I decide that I'm not going to stream. So that was IS2. Now this one here is IS12. And this one is a little scratchy. It has something in it. I think it just needs to be sharpened, but these are a wax base, so they do just squish down onto the page. So it can easily pick up things as well. Just like a little piece of wood or something. This one here is IS1. Oh, I can barely hear the music. That's better. Some songs, they just go really, really low suddenly. And then we're going to do IS5. And as you can see, we've got our yellow tones coming into our brown peach tones into our pinks and then into our darker peach tones. That's a light peachy pink. I won't say pink pink because there is actual pink pinks in here as well. Do a light. So as you can see, they do mash down onto the page really, really well. And this one here is IS07, so number 7. I don't know what the IS stands for. I really don't. Ooh, has a chunk in there. So when you have something like that, that tells you that you've got a chunk of pigment in there that is not dissolved properly. And it's picking it up and putting it down all in one. So there's a bit of an orange pigment in there that's not, well, not anymore, but somewhere in there, there was a bit of orange pigment that was not dissolved properly. And that's why we got that at the start there. Doesn't happen very often, and I think that's the first time I've ever seen it happen with an indraws. So this one here is number 4, IS4. And it's very warm in here, so these may be a little bit squishier than normal. Sometimes with your pencils, you will find in the summer especially, compared to coloring in the winter, that your pencils are softer. And especially if it's really warm in your house, if you keep your house at a constant temperature way lower than the outside like I do, sometimes you don't notice it. But if it gets above a normal temperature in your home, like about 10 degrees higher than it would be in the winter, you will find that your pencils don't behave the same way. This is IS6. Sometimes they become more smushy. For those of you that like to smush. And if your pencils, you feel your pencils aren't smushing as well in the winter, it's because you are much warmer in the summer than it is in the winter, and your cores are a little bit cool. So you may just have to put them in, somewhere warm for a couple of minutes. This one here is IV11. Like I said, I do not know what the IS and IV stand for personally, so I will have to research that. I have not researched that. I really haven't had a lot of time, unfortunately. Every time I think I have some spare time to do stuff, something else calls my attention. So it happens. I just, for some reason, have just been out of time, like, the past few months. It's like every time I try to do something, there's something else that needs to be done. So that one there is IV11. This one is IV10. And we're getting into those red tones now. It's a very pretty color. I don't know why this music keeps on jumping. Constantly having to adjust it. It's weird. Now the next song will come on and it'll be way too low. There we have IV10. This one is IV12. Nice dark, deep red. And of course the train's coming through. Let's see, what else can we get on the video? The long guys already came to do the yard work, so yeah. Although the neighbors haven't finished their yard, so yeah. Alright. That was IV12. Now we're going to get into the pink pinks. This one here is IM9. And again, just going to do a really heavy hand and fill that in. And it does work quite well with a heavy hand. And to lay down that color quickly. Now this one here is IV5. And I'm seeing a pattern with all the IVs having a red undertone to them. The IMs having a little bit of a pink undertone. And the IS is having a bit of a yellow undertone. However, I am not positive on that, so I will not, guarantee that. But visually, I'm seeing that that may be the differences. Now for the final part of the video, after we're finished with the swatch here, I will do a flip through of the Josh Lee books that I got for my birthday. And I'll do flip throughs until all of my birthday books are done up. So every Friday you'll have a flip through of a book or two, depending upon the amount of books or size of books and that sort of thing. This one here is IV4. Like when I get into the Kevin Teo, it may be just one book because his books are really large. Well, because they're like 5 books in one, so. Alright. Again, getting into that deep burgundy kind of red. Almost a purpley red. So we're getting more into that plum purple kind of color. But again, has the red undertones, so. And then this one here is more of a blue undertone, and it's IM6. And maybe the IMs have a blue undertone, I'm not sure. This one's more of a grayed lavender kind of color. Great color for shadowing in your skin tones. We'll do a quick little color on this one just to show you if they blend together. And then we have this one here. This one here is IM7. That one was IM6. This one is IM7. And it's more of a purple, more of a violet. A little bit dry, as you can hear it on the page. But they do have this smooshability. But we'll see if they can smoosh together. Alright, the next one is IM4. Blow that away. Which is a tealy kind of color. Almost a blue-green. Then we have IM3, which is a dark blue. And I'll put the swatch chart for these ones below the video. Now I did put them in my own order, so this is definitely not the order you get them in the tin. So I don't want to hear anybody say, yeah, that's not the order they come in. It is not the order they come in. It is not the company's order. This is my own order. That my eye shows that they're progressing. Alright, now we're getting into the browns. So we're going to start with the IM5. So this is a light red brown. And then we have IM12. And then we have IM2. These are a square pencil. So sometimes if you don't have them positioned in your hand the right way, you can find that they press into little spots the wrong way. This one is IM11. getting it more into that orange undertone there. The spray on tan kind of color. It does still have some of that pink undertone. So this one here is number 8, IV8. So this is going to have that red undertone. These two are pretty close together. Then we have IV6, and we're going to start getting into some of the yellow kind of tones, yellow browns. Kind of like an orange mustard brown. And I could have put these ones up in the starting area with that other yellow brown, but they didn't look proper next to each other. Alright, and then we have IS09. I did have them all grouped together, but they just didn't look right. IS11 has a little bit too much peach in it. Alright. So that's IS9. And then we have IV3. Just put a little heavier hand to it. And then we have IV1. And all of these things that I will be reviewing are all things that I have received for my birthday. They have all been gifted to me from one person or another. Just so you guys know that I have not broken my no-buy. I still have not purchased anything coloring related or craft related for myself. And this one is IV2. This one here is IM8. which is kind of a very light warm gray. And this one here is I Am 10. So just fill that in. And the next one is I Am 9. And this is one of the ones that did actually break when they arrived, but that's okay. It doesn't seem to be affecting it. It's not pulling out or anything like that. And this is the other one that broke, which is IV7. Alright, so there we have all of our colors. I'm going to take my brush and brush off any crumbs that we may have so that I don't rub my hands through it. Because pushing really hard does give it a bit of crumb. So we have our yellow tones here going into our peaches and pinky peaches, into our dark peach, into our orange, into our reds, pinks, purples, blues, and then our browns and our grays. So a very good mixture of colors for different skin types and skin tones. We're going to do this flower here, so we're going to start with IV5. We're going to just come down in here. And what we're going to do here is we're going to see how well they blend together. I definitely know I cannot get a rainbow blend here, but we can see how well the pencils themselves blend into each other. All right. I'll do the same thing here. I'm going to sharpen this because it's getting a little dull, and I want it a little sharper. That's better. Now these ones here are soft enough and clean enough that you don't have to sharpen them when you first get them. You can use them right away. However, I do find that they do color a little bit nicer after the first sharpen. Okay. Now we're going to take this one. I know this is probably going to be boring for y'all, so I may actually do the flip through as a second video, because I did just notice that we're coming up onto an hour. Now I'm trying to blend that into that color. Let's see. Okay, so it blends into the light better than the light blending into the dark. So definitely a pencil that you'll want to put down your light color first, come into your dark, and then blend your dark into it. Come into your dark areas, I mean. And then blend your dark colors into them. Because it's not picking up the other colors. I'm quite sure I could smush into it. So if you're a smusher, you may actually find that they work just fine. Because I just smushed into it and it worked better. But if you are a layering person like myself, start off with a layer of the light, and then add your dark, and then blend it in between the light and the dark. So I'm just going to smush in this area to show you what I mean. I'm going to light my hand as we come out. So as you can see, it's smushed into that dark area and blended it out. So if you're a smusher, these may work well for you. Then you can even take your dark color and blend it out a little bit, mixing that in. All right. So my first impressions of these additions to the Indra, I do feel that they are going to make a good addition to them. The colors are definitely a variety of colors that are lacking from both the original Indra and the secondary set of Indra that I received, that Bob bought me for Christmas. So would I say they're necessary? If you are collecting the Indra set or using Indra, and you're doing a lot of skin tones, I would definitely say that you would need these. The Indra sets do have a wide lack of the skin tones and pastel tones, so I find that it is kind of necessary to purchase all the different sets to put together to create one good set. I don't know why companies just don't do that from the start. Just make one good set. It would help. All right. I'm just moving in some of the lighter pink or darker pink into the shadow areas here. Like so. All right. And there we have it. We've got our little flower there. And put this. We don't have any greens in here, so I won't do any of the green stuff, but we do have a yellow. There we go. And I don't think they'd blend together well enough to make green. So, all right, so there we have the Indra skin tones. I'm going to switch it on over to the main camera so you can see the swatch chart a little bit better. And I'm going to turn on this lamp and turn off this one. Okay, so as you can see, we've got quite a wide selection of different tones and different shades that you can use for your skin tones with the Indra. All right, we also have looked at the bright ideas today. A lot of really great colors. We've got our regular tones up to the Black Magic. Then we've got our fluorescent tones, which do fluoresce. And then we have our metallics. We did do a little bit of coloring, and I did find that the metallics don't blend well into the regular tones. But after sharpening them, they did seem to blend together quite nicely and did lay down a lot better than I found that they laid down on the swatch themselves. So with that, I would definitely recommend the Indra is something that if you are a user of Indra products and have the other Indra colors, I would definitely say it's something that you'd want to look into. If you are going to be looking at doing a lot more portrait work as well as, and that sort of thing, it's also a great great set for that, for different colors in portrait. All right, guys, with that, I would like to say thank you all very much. Oh, I was going to say the Bright Ideas set. The Indra set I would definitely recommend. The Bright Ideas set I would recommend as a collector's item. I say this because they do have some wonderful, wonderful color names. The pencils are quite pretty and that sort of thing. I do find that once you sharpen them, they do lay down quite nice. However, they're very lacking in colors, and they don't blend very well together to create a new color. So I would definitely recommend them if you were a collector of pencils and want to collect or add it to the collection for the wonderful Bright Idea names. If you want to use this set on a daily basis, you are going to be very disappointed with it. Just letting you know. I think they're adorable. And as a part of the collection, I think they'll work out just fine. As a daily art material or a daily colored pencil, I would definitely not use it as a daily colored pencil. Alright guys, with that, I would like to say thank you all very much for watching. I hope this has been informative, at least a little bit of, creativity going on there, or maybe even a touch of entertaining, maybe. If not, I'm sorry. Of course, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. Stay tuned for a quick flip through of the 2 Josh Lee books I got for my birthday. One of which is the Fantasy Collection, the other of which is A Flower Ladies. So I will be doing a quick flip through of those on a separate video. And yeah, I hope you enjoy them. All right, guys, with that, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye for now.